Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the TradeStation Getting Started. My name is Jesus Nava. I'm the Director of Client Training and Education for TradeStation Security. And today we're going to talk about the web trading platform. So this is one of the platforms that TradeStation provides. You do have a choice on which one you want to trade or use them all if that's what you want to do. I think that each one of these platforms complements each other. One of the nice things about the web trading platform is that you can use it on any browser. All you need to do is just pull it up, like if you're using Chrome or Firefox or Safari, go to tradestation.com and then sign in. That's one of the benefits of just doing a web trading platform. Before we get started, let's do the usual disclosures. Just keep in mind that every symbol and idea that I talk about is for educational purposes only. These are not recommendations of TradeStation. Active trading is not suitable for everyone, and past historical performance is no guarantee of future results. If anybody needs additional information, go to www.tradestation.com/important-information. If you were looking for a webinar or a presentation on the TradeStation desktop, we record every session we do in the Getting Started series. So we do have a recording on the TradeStation desktop if that's what you wanted to learn about today. So any of the classes or any of the platforms that we educate on or present on are available as a recording. Let me show you where those recordings are. So I'm going to pull up a browser here on my screen. Let me go to tradestation.com. Okay, from the TradeStation website, go to the Learn section. You're going to see a menu at the very top. Just got to hover over Learn and then click on Getting Started. Once you land on Getting Started, you'll see a link here for upcoming events if you want to see the classes that are upcoming. Of course, it allows you to register, but then we have a video archive section where we have the most recent presentation on the platform of your choosing, whether it is the desktop, OptionStation Pro, web trading, mobile apps, or Futures Plus. So you're welcome to come here and watch a recording if you need to do so. By the way, this class is also being recorded. Next week, it'll replace this class that is right here, the web trading. So anytime we do a repeat or we do the class again, we take that and replace the recording here so we have the most recent presentation on this page. Okay, let me go ahead and share this link with everyone here in class. I'm going to do that through the chat window just in case somebody needs that link. Okay, excellent. All right, let me go ahead and log into web trading. You do that by going here to the very top of tradestation.com, click on sign in, and we are going to select the web trading simulator. Notice that there's two buttons here, one for live and one for simulator. You have to choose or be aware of the environment that you're logging into. I'm going to choose the simulator because we're going to do some example trades and I don't want to use real funds. Let me go ahead and log in. Okay, my information is pre-populated. I think it's saved in my browser settings. So I'm just going to click login right here on this screen. It tells me that I'm already connected. So this is a good segue to explaining that you are not going to be allowed to be connected on multiple terminals at the same time. The reason being is data exchanges. Data is something that it's exclusive to the user that is logging in. So if you log in one terminal, of course, you're going to be getting all the data that you signed up for, real-time data, if I clarify. So if you signed up for NASDAQ or American Stock Exchange, you're going to get those real-time updates on that terminal. If you sign in again on a different computer or let's say that you are logged into the desktop, then the exchanges are going to see that as a different terminal and it's going to require additional, fees. So this is the reason why I'm getting this dialogue that notices I'm already connected on my desktop. And I was because I was doing some market analysis this morning due to the elections impact, and I was just on the desktop. So now that I'm trying to connect here to my web trading, is letting me know, hey, you're already connected. What should we do? I do have the ability to disconnect from here my other computer, which is convenient because if you're away from your computer, let's say that you're traveling and you left your desktop connected on your home computer, then you can disconnect it remotely. Okay, so I'm just going to choose here to yes, disconnect, and it's going to launch. I get that disconnect here at the bottom right because I have my desktop right below this. Okay, and it opens up the web trading platform. Let me go ahead and increase the zoom here a little bit so that we can see the applications a little bit better. So web trading platform has a lot of features that make it a robust platform as well. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles that you find on the TradeStation desktop, but it'll allow you to do some simple market analysis, to apply some simple technical indicators, to pull up a watch list if you need to, even an options chain, and put in some trades. So if that's all you need from the TradeStation platform, then this is going to be a simplified version of TradeStation. Of course, the desktop is a more sophisticated platform. It has all the advanced features that you can utilize, scanning, technical analysis, back testing, so all the works. So depending on the type of user you are, one platform may be more fitting than the other. And again, many users use them at the same time, not connected at the same time, but they may use, the desktop on their home computer. They may use web trading on their office computer. Maybe there's a firewall that doesn't allow, third-party software installations, and you are limited to just pulling up the web trading platform. So whatever the reason is, you're going to be using these platforms as you see more fit. So let's go ahead and take a look here at how you can modify this layout and make it work for you. At the moment, you're seeing my web trading divided in two. You see the left panel and you see the right panel. Web trading can be divided in multiple panels, and that is controlled by this button at the top, which is called the Layout Manager. And you can split your browser or your screen in multiple panels. I'm using this one right here at the bottom, which is a two-panel layout. But if I wanted to do, a four-panel layout, I can do that. And then it's going to ask me to choose an application to choose an application to display in each one of those other additional panels. Okay, so Layout Manager allows you to control how these windows are, split. Of course, you have a divider on all these panels, so these are fully customizable. If you want one panel to be bigger than the other, that's something you can do. But I'm going to revert back to the one that has two panels because it's the one that has the least panels, so it's a little bit easier to manage on a presentation like this. Each one of the panels can have up to 5 tabs. So if you look up here, I already have 5 tabs on the right panel, and I have 4 tabs here on the left panel. On the left panel, I can open one more. So I have the ability to click on plus and choose what application I want to see on this side. For example, if I want to take a look at, let's say, which one is not open right now, I can open another chart if I want to. Let's open up a chart. And it opens up a chart for me. But notice that as soon as I open up 5 tabs, I don't have that plus anymore because the maximum is 5 tabs. If you need to, look at another application, you'll have to close one of the tabs. So let me close this tab. We don't have that many tabs. We have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So we have 10 different tabs. So if I can have, 5 tabs on each panel and I have 2 of them, I can pretty much have all my applications open in a 2-panel setup. But depending on how you want to organize your view, the panels and the applications are going to come in very handy. So let me go ahead and go here to my quotes. Quotes is very simple to use. All you need to do is go to the symbol box and enter the symbol that you want to watch. For example, let's say that I want to take a look at have a lot of symbols here. So let's say that I want to, let's see, I don't have Meta here. So let's add Meta, META, Meta platforms. I just added, and notice that it's added right here at the bottom. Symbols can be removed by clicking on the X. Very simple. Just click on any X and the symbol is gone. You can set up an alert on the bell too. So for example, if I'm watching Home Depot stock, I know it's trading at $390. Let's say that I want to monitor a level at 400 so that if it breaks 400, I want to be alerted. Well, I can click on this little bell and set that alert. I can say, if the last price of Home Depot is greater than or equal to 400, then give me an alert. I'm going to click OK, and that creates an alert for Home Depot. Notice that the bell is in orange, and I can monitor that alert in the Alerts tab. Alerts is like a separate application. You can open it here from the dropdown, and you'll see alerts in there. Alerts is really cool because it keeps a history of every alert that you've created inside of web trading. You can see that some of these are disabled and they're grouped by symbol. If I click on this grouped button, it'll just give me the alerts in alphabetical order. Of course, I can sort them by expiration. This is, if I sort them by expiration, the one that expires the further in the future is the one that I just set, the one for Home Depot. But grouped is going to be grouping by symbol. So notice that for Home Depot, I had 2 alerts. The only active one is the one at 400. I can also sort by enabled. If you want to have the enabled at the very top. Of course, if you have ungrouped and then you sort by enabled, then you have all the alerts that are enabled at the very top. But this is a very clear view of every single alert that I've set up in my web trading platform. We don't have this on the desktop, so that's something that's that I like a lot from web trading, and I wish the desktop had. The desktop, you can go to the message center and look at the alerts that have been triggered. But I think web trading did a very good job, or the developers of web trading did a very good job at giving us an application like alerts where we can manage our alerts. Okay. Going back to my quotes. I can have multiple quotes lists. If I go here to this drop down, I have the ability to add a list. I can create a new one or select from the list here. At this point, I'm not sure which one is custom. I think the only custom one right now is maybe crypto. Maybe that's the one that I had created. I'm not really sure. But if you switch to the Dow 30, for example, that's one of the default. I don't want to create one. Can be canceled. If I switch to the Dow 30, then it switches to the Dow 30 in here. If I go to the drop down and I switch to futures, then it's going to load my futures symbols as I have them listed. So this is a great way for you to organize symbols if you need to do so. And other things here on the quotes window, it's a lot of the things here are pretty much self-explanatory. Yes, the column headers can be clicked and you can, sort by any of these values. So if I'm on the list of stocks and I want to sort by volume, I just click here, click it again to have the volume sort descending in the descending order. And I can see that Intel is the one that has traded more shares today, followed by Apple. Okay, we can remove columns here if we don't need them. I can click on this cog wheel. Let's say, for example, that I don't need the bid. I want to remove that, or the bid ask size, and just leave a simple view. Click OK, and then I have a simple view on the quotes. I also have some technical indicators if you want to add them to your quotes. For example, if you want to see the average true range, or if you want to see their RSI values. So we have a limited collection of studies that you can add to web trading and monitor those technical indicators there as well. Okay, enough about quotes. Now, quotes does not compare to what you can do on radar screen. So all the functionality in radar screen in terms of scanning and looking for alerts, that is something that it's missing here in web trading. So if you're using radar screen and you like the functionality, you're probably not going to find that sophistication in web trading. Web trading, it's a more simple kind of quotes window that you can use. Let's take a look at charting here on the right-hand side. By the way, the chat is open. Feel free to ask me any questions right there in the chat, especially, you know, as I go through the functionality. And even if it's not related to web trading, you're welcome to submit any questions here. That's the reason why we have these live classes, so that you guys can interact with me, okay? Let me talk a little bit about charting here on the right-hand side. Charting allows you to use the mouse wheel, so I can scroll down, I guess this is, or scroll back, or scroll forward, and notice that it adjusts the bar spacing on my chart. The desktop doesn't have this, but I like it a lot. In order for you to increase or decrease bar spacing on the desktop, you have to use the up arrow and the down arrow on the keyboard, which also works here on web trading. So if you're used to up and down arrow key, you can also do that here from the chart. You have a toolbar on the left of the chart. From the very top, remember that the bell just represents an alert. You can change the time frame. You can, you know, go to the drawing and draw anything on the chart. You have a collection of studies by clicking on that science beaker. Then you have sessions if you want to modify the session. The chart type area, it's a type chart that is not available on the desktop, and it looks very pretty. So let me go back here to my style and switch it to candlestick. I can also, you know, change the account that is visible. In this simulator, I have, or in this environment, I have 3 different trading simulators. If you have multiple accounts with TradeStation, you can switch the account that is visible on the chart. Like, for example, I have a position on, this is Microsoft, that I see it down here. I have a position open, but that's on this account that ends on 533M. If I switch it to, you know, 311M, then the position goes away. So you only see the trading activity of the account that is selected there. What else? You know, pretty good charting capabilities. You know, I can move the chart around if I need to. I can squeeze this price scale here if I want to. I can reset the chart by clicking on this little button, and resets the scale if I want to do that too. Okay, but remember that you can do this very easily on chart trading. One of the things that I do, and I'm sure everyone here will like, is ability to trade from a chart. And there is a feature here that I like a lot too on web trading. For example, if I were to click here on this position flag, I have 100 shares of Microsoft. If I were to click there, nothing happens. So it happens on a live order. So let me go ahead and get rid of that position for now. I'm going to click on this plus here and go to the trade bar. And on the trade bar, I'm going to close at market. I'm going to say yes, send. And you see how the position goes away. I have a new market indicator because that's where I sold. Okay, but what I wanted to show you, let me go ahead and open my chart a little bit more. If I have a buy order, let me go ahead and send a buy order right here at 416. I click, and then I click on buy, and I'm going to buy, it doesn't matter the quantity, I'm going to buy that and send the order. So you have the active order visible right here in web trading. One of the nice things you can do is that you can click on that order flag and notice that it automatically splits in 2, and it allows you to do a take profit or a stop loss. I find that very, very handy. And I can take the take profit and drag it up and say, and notice that as I drag, you have a few calculations. You have a percentage, away from your entry. It gives you the net, and it also gives you what the potential profit would be. If I let go of my mouse and I say send, it'll send my take profit right there at the top. If I click here one more time, I can do the same thing with the stop loss. And the nice thing about this is that these two orders are going to be linked in an OCO. So even though I adjusted them separately, they are considered an OCO so that if one gets filled, the other one gets canceled. You know, the desktop doesn't have that. I mean, you can place an OCO on the desktop, but it doesn't have that clicking on the order functionality and have it, you know, display the take profit and the stop loss in this way. If I move the primary anywhere, let's move it here to a little bit lower to 413.50. Now that did not adjust my take profit. I was expecting it to do. Maybe because I didn't send them together as an attached OSO. I'm, you know, setting my profit target on my stop loss after the fact. Maybe that's what's doing it. Let's go ahead and do it a different way. Let me go ahead and cancel my primary. Let me click on that primary and click on the X. That'll cancel it. Proceed. So notice that canceling the primary, it does cancel the two orders that were sent there. But if I go here to the trade bar, notice that there is a tab here for OCO, OSO. I'm going to do a similar order on Microsoft. I'm going to do an entry with a bracket. So entry long with a bracket. Notice how the trade bar sets up for me to enter that trade. I'm going to do here Microsoft. Perfect. I want to buy, yeah, it doesn't matter. Let me do a limit price of 415. And my target is going to be 418. And my stop is going to be 412. So these are all GTC orders. When I send this, it'll be reflected on the chart. There we go. We have a limit entry with a target and a stop. If I move this primary, let's move it to down to 413. Still doesn't adjust the two orders. You know, maybe that's something that web trading does differently. I can adjust those two orders if I want to. You know, if I want to, you know, modify the take profit and the stop loss, you know, all these orders can be moved individually. One thing that, you know, the desktop does is that it respects the distance or the offset of those two orders. And if you move a primary, then it'll move the whole setup with you. So just be aware of the differences, you know, so that if you need to adjust a trade, you can do that. Just click and drag, just maintain a visual or keep an eye on the orders that are not moving and move them if you have to move those individually, okay? The orders that are here are also in the orders tab. So there is an application that's called the orders tab, and it allows you to manage all the different orders that you're submitting. These are all the orders for today. I can sort them by entered, and then you can see how the Microsoft orders are at the top. I have one that is received and the other two are queued because the other two are dependent on the primary. Remember that I sent a take profit and a stop loss, and those two orders would only be necessary if I have a real position. So once I enter the position, once my entry order is filled, then these two other orders become active. Okay. From here, I also have the ability to cancel or cancel replace those active orders. You can see the X and the C are here on the left-hand side. Let's go back here to the matrix. The matrix is empty when you first open it. But if I bring up Microsoft in here, then you can see market depth level 2, and you can place orders, you know, in this setup as well. Now, of course, you can see the range of prices here. They go in penny increments, and that's why we only see 419 on the screen. If we look at the chart, our entry was at 413, so we are far away from where our orders are. I can scroll down to where 413 is, and it doesn't let me see it. I may have to squeeze the scale here. Notice in the price column, there's a plus and a minus next to the price header. If I click on the minus, let me click on the plus. See, the plus is going to change the increment. Anytime you click on the plus once, it'll add a penny. So now we're at 2 penny, 3 pennies, 4 pennies. This is a nickel. Let's do 10 cents. I'm just going to keep on going until I see 10 cents. All right, this is 10 cents. I don't have the ability to, I do have the ability to enter a price. So let me do a quarter. If I do a quarter, I still don't see my orders. Let me do 50 cents. There we go. We start seeing the orders in view. So the orders are right there as I see them. It gives you the exact price in the order box because it doesn't really align with the price here because we are using a different increment. But you know that you have a, this is a sell order. This is my buy order at 413.1. Okay, if I were to drag here from the matrix and drag it up to 414, it adjusts the order. Notice that it adjusts the order here on the chart as well. So if you want to even out your take profit, notice that I have my stop loss at 410.66. If I want to, use an even number, I can just drop it, to 410, and then it does that for me automatically. So on the matrix, if you click and drag an order and you're using a different increment, the order will just use that price as, or the visible price as its price. Okay, so just keep that in mind as well. The orders here, as you saw, can also be adjusted by clicking and dragging. I can also cancel orders by clicking on this. You click on the little box and you have the option to cancel or replace. If I click on cancel and proceed, it'll go away here and it'll also go away on the chart because every application here is interconnected. So whatever you do in one is going to be reflected on the other. More applications here on web trading, like balances. This gives you an overview of your total portfolio. It breaks it into the types of accounts you have. I have a stocks and options account in here, and I have a futures account. These are all simulated accounts, but it gives me the ability to track funds on each one of the asset classes. For the hot lists, that's very self-explanatory, very similar. In fact, it's absolutely the same hot list that you have on the desktop. So if you're looking for stocks that are experiencing an extreme behavior, you can use the hot list to see what's happening. These are percent gainers from yesterday. This is a 1-day percent gain. And we can see that we have stocks here that have gained. This is in descending order. If I click, notice you can sort these columns by clicking on the header. So they were in ascending order. So I just clicked on the column header once to sort the values in descending order. And you can see that the security that is up the most percentage-wise since the close of yesterday is this one right here, Foxo. Not really sure what the company does, but it's 147% higher than what it was yesterday. And that changed 20 cents. Okay, so this is a way for you to look at stocks that are experiencing an out of the ordinary behavior. And if you go to the activity drop down, you can choose any of these filters to see the stocks that meet that criteria. We have a news application. For the news application, we have different views. You can see the 3 views over here on the right. This is the one that has a small image with an article and an article headline and the description. The next one is bigger images, the title in the image and the description below. And then you have just plain text, no images whatsoever, just a view of different articles. Okay, but here you can click on any of these to open them up. And you can also do a search by, let me go back here. The back button is over here on the right-hand side. You can search by symbol. So if you want to get news around Tesla, for example, I put in the symbol And then you have all the news articles that have come in where Tesla is the protagonist or Tesla is mentioned. Notice that this is Tesla on top stories, but I can do all categories and I see a little bit more, a little bit more news coming in. So for example, this one doesn't say Tesla, should say Tesla somewhere, right here. Tesla Inc. Okay, perfect. So let's go ahead and click back. So that's news. It does allow you to filter news a little bit better than what the desktop does. Okay, so make sure that you explore all the different categories that are here. Perfect. And lastly, the option chain. The option chain also very useful. I can pull up a symbol here. Let me put in Microsoft. You do have a spread selector. So what I'm looking at the moment is verticals. So the vertical and in the money vertical is the 420, 422.5. But let's say, for example, that I want to do the 420 and the 415. What I can do is change the strike interval to something different. So the 420, now we have the 420 to 425. Let's say that we want to keep on going. Here's the 420, 415, the one that I was talking about. So you can change the increment so that the strikes are paired up differently and trade them as such. So if I click on the bid or ask, this is the pricing combined of the two strikes that you see in here, the 420 and the 425. If I click on the asking price, those two legs are going to be sent here to my trade bar. You can see the 420 call against the 425 call. The prices of the position combined are right here. I don't have the individual prices, but if you want to see individual prices, just go here to the spread drop down and go to single. And when you go to single, you can check the price of the 420, which is 325. And you can check the price of the 425, which is $1.24 or $1.20. So when you combine those two prices, then you have the spread combined price. We're looking at November 8th expiration. You have the expirations running across horizontally, and you can click. You cannot click and drag. I thought you could click and drag and slide the expirations to the left, but you have this little button here on the right that allows you to cycle through all the expirations for the option chains. But anytime you click on something here, the bid or ask is going to send that information to the order bar for you to make modifications to the price you want and the type of order. So it's very convenient because it allows you to monitor those positions very, very nicely. Let's go ahead and put in a spread here so you can see how I can manage it. Let me do a custom. When you select custom, this allows you to do a multiple selection. So if I want to buy the 420, but sell the 425, notice that I clicked on the two separately, but the two legs are sent up here, and it sends the combined price up here. Let me go ahead and send a market order to get on to this trade. I'm going to send the orders and send. I get filled. I see the order confirmation right there at the bottom. If I want to check my positions, I just have to open up that application. Let me open up my positions tab. And here are my positions that are grouped by security as well. So for Microsoft, notice that I can collapse and I can expand all my positions for Microsoft. I have the two legs of my vertical that I can trade. If I click on one of them, notice that it selects it, and I can click on the other one as well. So if you want to trade the vertical again, you can just click on the individual legs from the positions list, and let's say I want to trade this, and it sends that information to the trade bar one more time. Okay, and this time you can set, different specifications if you want to, exit at a profit, or if you want to exit at a stop. You do all your pricing specifications, and then you send your order. For this example, I'm just going to set a market order just to get rid of that position. And then you can see how Microsoft is removed from my positions list. All right. And pretty much that's it. These panels can be maximized at any moment. So if you're looking at a chart, let's say, and you want this to be expanded, notice that you have a little maximize button here. It just takes over the whole screen, and then you can focus on the analysis that you're doing. So that's part of any panel. If you want to expand your positions panel, you can do that as well. So it's a matter of just getting your hands on web trading and kind of explore all the different features and functionality that are here for you to determine, what is it that you want to use. Again, web trading, I find it as a complement to the desktop because it provides me mobility. If I have my desktop on my laptop at home and I'm traveling, maybe I'm going to, let's say that I go to my parents' house and they have a computer. I can pull up, their internet browser. I don't have to install TradeStation on that computer. I can just pull up their browser and pull up my TradeStation account so I can see and check my positions. So that's one of the benefits of having different ways of accessing your account. And we haven't even touched on the mobile app. The mobile app, we did a class last week, so make sure that you check it out. It also gives you the added benefit of taking your TradeStation account wherever you are, okay? But that's it. I don't see any more questions here in the chat, so I just want to appreciate the time you guys spent with me today. Please keep an eye on the events calendar and make sure you join us for future classes. Have a wonderful afternoon, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye, everyone.